Hey there, besties. Today we'll be looking at an awesome sauce DAW that I vibe coded called LemmingsStudio. So without further ado, let's jump right into LemmingsStudio.
Lemmings Studio. When they fall like lemmings, that's where I step in.
So when you first boot into LemmingsStudio, you're greeted with this view, which has the session view, which I honestly haven't quite smoke tested all that much. It should work. It is based on the session view in Ableton Live, but I don't use that, so I don't use this either. You can scroll between views using tab, or you can go back using shift plus tab. So we have the arrangement view, which should be familiar to those of you who use Ableton Live, Logic Pro, Fender Studio Pro. We have the BPM, we have the key. So you can choose any of these. You can choose major, natural minor, harmonic minor, melodic minor, or any of these exotic keys as well. There is a circle of fifths, so you can choose the key using this as well. There's, of course, snap, so snaps to the grid. You can choose the grid, so 1/16th, 1 bar, half a bar, 1/4 bar, 1/8 a bar, 1/16th a bar, 1/32 a bar. I keep it on 1/16th, that's the default. We have the piano roll. Right now it's empty because there's no MIDI clip. There is a step sequencer, which should be familiar to those of you who use FL Studio. There is an octave control here. There's pan and gain settings. So don't ask me which of these is pan, which of these is gain. I couldn't tell you because I haven't tested them yet. There is a devices view, which is similar to this one right here. So it's for FX or plugins. So any of these, bus compressor, noise gate, peak limiter, big crusher, chorus ensemble, or even VST plugins such as Instachord, right? There's also a dedicated automation view. There's also one down here. You can automate the project tempo, or you can automate stuff per clip. So you can automate things like the filter frequency, the big crusher bits, or even things in third-party VSTs, although I haven't quite tested that out yet. There is a dedicated mixer tab. So I don't know why it makes the screen go all wide like this, but basically if your master is clipping, you can turn this down to like 6 decibels, minus 6 decibels, or whatever suits you, right? For now, let's go to the step sequencer. And the first thing I want to show off here is, so when you click on new sequencer, it pre-populates a default set of sounds, which are not quite there yet. So if I choose guaracha, for example, right? If I hear this, it's a guaracha groove vault, right? But it's not actually, it's not in the right BPM for one thing. But also, these instruments are mostly placeholders. Let's just go back to Tech House for now. And what I'll do is, I'll go into Splice. So this is based on the Splice MCP, which I'm going to log in here. So this is Discover plus browser login. Don't click the other one, by the way. This one should open up a browser window right here. There we go. Continue. It should pipe back to LemmingsStudio, right? So let's actually search for house kick. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I'm going to say it again. This is not officially blessed by Splice. This is based on the Splice MCP. Thank Claude for that. Let's go into one-shots. And I'm going to go with this one from Sennheiser, right? Let's preview it real quick. Okay, let's drag and drop this into the punch kick slot. It's gonna take a while. There we go. Now let's search for house hat. By the way, one thing I want to tell you, you should never expand this MCP settings tab because it will expose your Splice auth key in plain text. You don't want that. In the future update, I will try redacting it so that, if you're on stream, it's not visible. Speaking of streaming, by the way, LemmingsStudio has built-in Discord integration, like Discord Rich Presence integration. And yes, before you ask, it also supports WinChord and Desktop. So for the hat, I'm going to go with this one from Sample Tools by CR2. Let's drag it into the tight closed hat section. Let's play that back. I quite like that. So let's print the arrangement. Let's drag that to 3 bars. So the 4th bar is where it ends. Let's play that back. So now let's go here to the 4th bar. And let's go into step sequencer. Let's get rid of the kick altogether. Let's print the arrangement. It did it in this one instead of this one, which is fine. I'm just going to drag it here. Come on. Yeah. So let's play this back. Also, we have a metronome, we have recording as well. We'll get to that in a bit. Now, for the instruments, let's rename this to bass line. And let's insert Serum here. So by default, it comes with the analog synth, but you can actually add a plugin from here. So let's go to Serum 2. Let's add that here. Let's open up Serum 2. I keep forgetting that there's 2 Serums now. So let's go into S1 presets, Moonboy Harmony, and Bass Walk. Let's turn that down by 2 octaves for the oscillator 1. Okay, now I quite like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into AI. And you got 2 options here. You got the Cloud API, you got the local llama model. In my case, the local llama model is already downloaded. For you, you might need to download it. It's like a 3 gigabyte download in addition to this huge app, which might be a bummer for some of you. But hey, if you want to run things locally, this is how it goes. And it should also automatically download Brew and Llama. If not, you can install Homebrew manually and just do Brew install Llama. More on that in a bit. So let's type here, add a 4-bar bass progression in C major to the bass line track. Let's run that.
A few moments later.
Okay, so it's done. Let's play that back. Now that is a bit boring. So let's add some arpeggiation here. So let's add, it should be called pattern arp, right? Pattern arp, let's play that back. That is quite chaotic. Let's play this back again. We can actually automate that, which is quite cool. So we can add a lane for pattern arp, rate, octaves, gate, swing. But let's just remove this pattern arp for now, right? So another cool way to create MIDI clips is, I'm just going to create a MIDI clip here. And I'm going to go back into arrangement view. I'm going to go and hit Generative Disco. So what this does is it's basically similar to FL Studio's Riff Machine. So let's play that back. Let's go here. Let's make sure it's in key. So select all, select it to scale. Okay, so let's delete this. Let's actually undo this, right? So let's add back the pattern arp because that one was something I really liked. Okay, let's turn this down by another octave. Let's put that back again. Let's do some octave control here as well. Okay, perfect. Now let's duplicate this clip, move it here. Like the 12th bar. Let's duplicate this as well. Let's play that back now. Now let's take a look at automation, right? So let's actually add a point here. So let's play this back. And we can actually add a drum and bass loop here later. But for now, let's get rid of this tempo automation. Let's play it back again. Okay. Now, one more thing I want to show off is if we go into sound, right? Let's actually add a new MIDI track here, right? Now, let's see. Serum 2 should be fine. Let's close this Serum instance. So create me a Tiesto style bass. It should be quite simple to do, actually. One caveat is that I cannot automate, like the agentic AI cannot automate all the parameters. So some of them you might need to manually tweak, but let's design the patch.
One eternity later.
Okay, so I designed a patch which is more plucky than anything. Let's go down 2 octaves. Let's not quite Tiesto style, but it gets the job done, right? So there was one more AI feature that I wanted to show off, but it's kind of broken on the current build. So here's a preview of what it looks like. Basically, you can ask general production questions, mashup planning, key planning, arrangement ideas, mixing notes, or just LemmingsStudio workflow help. So none of these models actually produce text responses properly for that. So I am going to be shipping a fix for this in the second beta, which will include a text-based model which answers questions fast and accurately. Right. Now, let's actually get rid of all of these tracks. So delete track, delete track, delete track, delete track, delete track. Okay. Now, let me just go to Finder, go to Music. Let me drag in this demo track I created using loops inside of LemmingsStudio, really. Now let's maximize this window. The detected BPM is actually incorrect. So let me set this to 214. And let me set the project tempo to 214 as well. And let me set the warp mode to Complex Pro. I will change these names, by the way, so that I don't get sued by Ableton. Let's play this back. Yeah. Hanji. ढोल पतक बजा मेरी बतक ढोल पतक बजा मेरी बतक करके तू लटक झटक ढोल पतक बजा मेरी बतक. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to stem split selected click. I am going to select only vocals and start stem split. And the vocals actually are set to the wrong tempo, so let's fix that real quick. Now let's mute this channel, or rather let's solo this one. Let's play it back. Yeah. And complex mode set to warp, complex pro. Oops, set to complex pro. ढोल पतक बजा मेरी बतक ढोल पतक बजा मेरी बतक करके तू लटक झटक ढोल पतक बजा मेरी बतक. So there's actually different backends. So if I just delete this whole track, right? There's one more that is actually quite high quality. So let's go into MLX demux and let's just demux this track. Let's play this back. Yeah. Hanji. Complex Pro. ढोल पतक बजा मेरी बतक ढोल पतक बजा मेरी बतक. Yeah. Hanji. ढोल पतक बजा मेरी बतक ढोल पतक बजा मेरी बतक करके तू लटक झटक ढोल पतक बजा मेरी बतक. All right, perfect. Now let's try to automate this. So let's go into automation. We already have a big crusher on here. Let's add a lane, big crusher downsample. Let's create a point here and another one here, right? Let's keep it simple. Let's go back into devices. Let's actually reduce the bits to 8 bits. Let's play it back. Let's increase them a bit. Yeah. Hungry. As you can see, as I move the automation points, it changes. So yeah, automation works perfectly. Now let's get rid of this track. Let's set the tempo back to 124. Now, there's a few more things I want to show you guys before we move on to the FAQ, right? So first of all, pads. If I add a new drum machine track here, I can play these pads like so. So these are actually mapped to the pads on my MPK Mini 4. They are not quite, it's not quite aligned with the, like you can see the rim shot is actually impressing the second one. So it's not quite aligned properly with the pads, but it is implemented. And I guess you could just drag in samples here, right? So what next? Let's delete this track. Let's add a new MIDI track. And let's add Oscillatron. Right? Let's play back some MIDI. So this is basically the equivalent of 3x OSC from FL Studio without the visual feedback here. So you can't actually see if you're selecting a square or a sine or whatever. So that will have to change in beta 2, which I will change soon. Let's get rid of Oscillatron. And now, let's add a new MIDI track here. Let's insert LemmingsBass here. So this is the equivalent to FL Studio's Boo Bass.
What did he say?
Now finally, let me show you guys something cool. We have themes. That's right. So we have the hot pink theme, which is really pink and girly pop. There's a liquid glass theme, which is kind of boring, but it's got like purple accents, which makes it look cute. By the way, all of these themes have liquid glass aesthetic baked in. So there's that. Now there's the World Cup 2026 theme, modeled after the FIFA World Cup 2026. We have the Cyberpunk 2077-ish theme, modeled after Cyberpunk 2077. We have, of course, Hot Pink, we already saw that. We have Anime Racing, which is modeled after Uma Musume Pretty Derby. We have Elemental Fantasy, which is modeled after Genshin Impact. You can actually see the inspiration quite clearly here. Then, of course, we have Alien Club, which is more of a Diplo themed. So you got the little alien icon here. It's inspired by his track Dirty Vibe, and that one album with Skrillex, which the song was on. Then there's Spatial Future, which is basically Liquid Glass, but Vision OS. It's inspired by the Apple Vision Pro. Then we have Lemmings, which is just a cute little Lemmings theme. You got a little Lemmings glyph icon here. Then you got Hamster After Dark. Now, if you know what this is based on, leave a little hamster emoji in the comments section down below. And finally, we have Kitty and Buds, which is modeled after Hello Kitty Island Adventure. You can see there's like little flourishes of pink and black. It's mostly Kuromi at this point, but yeah, this is modeled after Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Okay, now on to the FAQ. Question 1. Can I run this on the MacBook Neo? Well, yes and no. A lot of the features here will work, but the agentic features will not because the models are just too heavy. The stem splitting may or may not work because the MacBook Neo ships with only 8 gigs of unified memory. So yeah, I would not rely on the AI models locally. You could run like with the Cloud API key. And for stem splitting, if it doesn't work, you could use something like lalal.ai, or there's different websites that actually do stem splitting. Question 2. What version of macOS do I need for this? Well, I built this on macOS 27 Golden Gate, right? So anything above Sequoia should be fine. So Sequoia, Tahoe, Golden Gate should be fine. But just for safety, I would go with Tahoe and above. So Tahoe and Golden Gate, right? Question number 3. How much space do I actually need for this whole program? Well, as a matter of fact, there's something I forgot to show you guys. So there is a section somewhere here. Let's see. Did it get nuked? Let's see. Tracks, splice, samples. Sounds. Yeah, so looks like it was a regression, but you can actually download sounds inside of this, right? It's hidden somewhere. So if I go into the settings menu, it should pop up there. So user library. Yeah, it's not here, but there used to be a section for actually downloading just sounds in here, right? So when I bring that back in beta 2, those are not actually pre-cached sounds. Those are like free to use sounds, but like it would be a licensing nightmare to use those. That said though, for running everything, so the models, the air models, the stem splitting, the program, the packs you download, you are gonna need comfortably around 30 to 40 gigabytes. And there's another feature I didn't demo because it's kind of a stub. So if you go into voices, you can actually record your own voice here and you can clone it. Though I did get some errors while building it. So yeah, it is a stub. I haven't actually seen if it works properly or not, but the model weights are bundled. And yes, that brings us to question number 4. Is this app free? Yes, it's free. As a matter of fact, I will be open sourcing it on the 4th of July. So it might still be the 3rd of July in the US. Depends on what time in India it's going to be when I open source it. But I'm going to open source this app. Question 5. Where's the Windows build? Well, I'm working on the Windows build even as we speak. And I hope to get it ready in time for the 4th of July open sourcing, right? Question number 5. Linux when? Well, I'm glad you asked that question because, yeah, I do have a plan for bringing this software to Linux. And as a matter of fact, I'll be looking for testers on 4 specific distros. So Bazzite, CachyOS, SteamOS, and Asahi Linux. So these 4 distros are going to be the highest priority for me. And yeah, if you're in any of these distros, just comment down below. And as soon as I have the source code ready and everything, yeah, you can hit me up on my email. You can leave your email address you can send me an email, actually. Don't leave your emails in the comments down below, but like you can send me an email at this email address right here. Okay, question number 6. Why is this app so big? Like, why is it so chunky? Well, because it's not a toy. It's not a tech demo. It is a full-on DAW. It is meant to be a free DAW for people who can't afford to buy like paid DAWs like FL Studio, Ableton Live, and such. And it has all the bells and whistles of a premium DAW, with more features being added soon. So yeah, definitely something you would want to grab if you're broke or if you just don't want to buy a DAW, right? Because this, well, it has it all, and the things it doesn't have is going to get soon. Question number 7. Is this going to be coming to any other platforms, such as mobile platforms? Well, I plan on building a companion iOS app, which is going to be quite similar to, Ableton Note. So you're going to be able to do things and automate stuff within LemmingsStudio. You're going to be able to bring audio from that app into LemmingsStudio. That will launch sometime in December, depending on when I can get my paid developer account. So it's going to be initially on test flight, and then it's going to roll out to the App Store if it's approved, right? Question number 8. Do you have any plans for this beyond just computers and mobile devices? Yes, I actually plan on building a Vision OS port. So I hope to buy an Apple Vision Pro by December, or if they launch their new AI glasses, like their AR glasses, to compete with the Meta Ray Bans. Yeah, I'll be getting one of those, and I'll be building this, and yeah, hopefully I don't lose my sanity in the process. Okay, question number 8? Question number 9? Question number 8, I think. So question number 8, will this run on Intel Macs? And the answer is a resounding no. Because this was built with Apple Silicon in mind, first and foremost. It is going to be coming to Intel chips, but that's going to be on Windows. So I'm targeting Intel chips, NVIDIA GPUs, AMD GPUs, and ARM NPUs. So like a wide range of compatibility, but no Intel Macs, I'm sorry. Intel Macs just ain't powerful enough to run this thing. So besides, they're outdated, so yeah. Right, that's all for the video from me for now. If you have any questions, you can leave them down below. The download link for the macOS beta will be in the description down below. And as soon as the Windows build is ready, I will leave a pinned comment with that, also linked, and I will update the description. As always, I'm Chartier. You've been the best. Have a nice day. Peace out.